Before the roar of engines, there was only the sound of hooves. The world once moved at the pace of muscle and wind. Dust rose from dirt roads under wooden wheels. Horses pulled carriages through crowded cobblestone streets. Distance was measured not in miles, but in days, and no one yet knew that history was waiting for a spark. That spark came in the late 1800s. In a small German workshop in 1885, Karl Benz tightened the final bolt on a strange three-wheeled machine. It rattled, it hissed, it smelled of oil and metal. When he turned it on, it coughed to life like a mechanical beast awakening from a long sleep. People laughed. They called it dangerous, pointless, too loud, too complicated. But Benz's wife, Bertha, believed otherwise. One quiet morning in 1888, without telling her husband, Bertha Benz took the motor wagon and drove over 60 miles to visit her mother. It was the first long-distance automobile journey in history. She repaired fuel lines with her hat pin and invented brake lining along the way. By the time she returned, the world had changed. The car was no longer a joke. It was a revolution. Across the Atlantic, another revolution was brewing. In 1908, Henry Ford introduced the Model T, an affordable, durable car built not for the rich, but for ordinary people. Then came the assembly line. Metal frames rolled down moving belts. Workers repeated precise tasks. Production that once took days now took hours. The Model T didn't just sell, it exploded into American life. Roads were paved, gas stations appeared, motels lined highways. The car wasn't just transportation anymore, it was freedom. Teenagers found independence behind the wheel. Families explored national parks. Cities expanded into suburbs. The automobile reshaped landscapes, economies, and cultures. But progress always comes with a price. By the mid-20th century, cars became symbols of power and style. Chrome gleamed under neon lights. Tail fins sliced through the air like rockets. Muscle cars roared in the 1960s. Mustangs, Camaros, Chargers, raw horsepower wrapped in steel. Speed was king. Yet as highways filled and smog thickened over cities, a new awareness emerged. Oil crises in the 1970s exposed the world's dependence on fuel. Environmental concerns began whispering into the global conversation, and the industry listened. Japanese automakers introduced smaller, fuel-efficient vehicles that challenged American dominance. Innovation shifted from size and speed to efficiency and reliability. Then, in the late 1990s and early 2000s, another transformation quietly rolled onto the streets: hybrid cars. The Toyota Prius became a symbol of environmental responsibility. For the first time, consumers weren't just asking how fast does it go, but how clean does it run? And then, electric returned from the shadows. It's ironic. Electric cars actually existed before gasoline cars in the early 1900s, but limited battery technology had pushed them aside. Now, over a century later, companies like Tesla reignited the electric dream. Silent acceleration, instant torque, zero tailpipe emissions. Cars were becoming computers on wheels, equipped with sensors, touchscreens, artificial intelligence. Vehicles could park themselves, warn drivers of danger, even begin to drive autonomously. The roar of engines began to fade into a quiet hum. Today, the automobile stands at another crossroads. Self-driving technology promises to reduce accidents. Hydrogen fuel cells hint at new energy possibilities. Urban planners rethink car ownership itself, with ride-sharing and electric scooters reshaping city life. The car is no longer just a machine. It's a mirror of humanity's ambition. From Karl Benz's trembling motor wagon to sleek electric vehicles gliding through smart cities, the automobile has carried more than passengers. It has carried dreams, independence, innovation, conflict, responsibility. It built highways across continents. It fueled economies. It shaped music, movies, and memories. First dates at drive-ins, road trips with windows down, the feeling of gripping a steering wheel for the first time. And yet, the journey isn't over. Somewhere right now, in a lab or garage, someone is tightening a bolt on the next great transformation. Maybe it won't run on gasoline. Maybe it won't even need a driver. But just like in 1885, it will start with a spark. And when it does, the world will move again.